All right. It's another day, another random video from Robert Monroe. So if you like these, like them. Comment down below about what topics you might want to see me do. And subscribe if you haven't so you can see more cute babies and more random ideas. Anyway, today I wanted to talk about learning and the learning process. And the reason why this is inspired, as with all my videos, on what I've been doing very lately, like literally yesterday. So, yesterday I was working on JavaScript. I have a project coming up where I need to learn to code a bit. And there's many things that I am okay with trying and getting better at. Coding is not really one of them. And it reminded me of something that I tell my students a lot, which is if your brain is hurting a bit and you're like, ugh, I really don't want to do this, that's actually when you know that you're at the point of a potential breakthrough and you need to keep pressing. Basically, what I'm thinking about is there's this saying in, I've heard it before, learning, it's fun and it's easy. And I think we try to encourage kids all the time, oh, just be learning all the time. And I agree with that, by the way. I agree that kids should be learning. I agree. I think everybody needs to be learning all the time. And it is fun, but it's fun the way running is fun. It's not fun the way video games are fun most of the time. Most of the time, learning is more resembling of exercise, or maybe not exercise, maybe playing a physical game like basketball or soccer. You're having a good time, you're distracted potentially from the physicality of it. But if you stop to think about it for a second, your legs ache. You're not used to this. Maybe you haven't done it in a while. So that's kind of the aspect of learning that I want to talk about a bit is the brain ache of it. So I think the easiest way to unpack this is to compare it to exercise. When we think about exercise, we want to find that sweet spot where we're sore and our muscles have worked a bit. What I've heard it described as from people who know fitness better than me is your muscles literally have to break a little bit so that then they can regrow together even bigger. And so what you're really trying to do is you're trying to exercise beyond your current capacity so that you tell your muscles, hey, we really want to grow, and then they'll break themselves down and they'll be ready for the next day. If you overdo it, of course, it's so sore and you're so demotivated, you can't get back going the next day. And if you underdo it, there's actually not too much bad about underdoing it besides you're not going to necessarily reach your goal, or you might just get bored and you just go, eh. So, how does this apply to learning? Well, it's the same exact balancing act when you're learning. Now, with little people, like this little person all the way through, I'd say college, they're kind of learning machines. That's kind of what they're geared up for. And so I think they have a lot more stamina and endurance than we give them credit for. And as we become adults, we get, first of all, a self image that doesn't like to be wrong. And then, second of all, we get kind of a little bit not used to being in that moment. We just want to go straight to the goal and be done and get going, whatever it is. So what we have to do is we kind of have to break ourselves down again and be okay with being like this little person where if she wants something, she just has to press for it and go until she gets it. So that's the big picture idea that I wanted to spread. Learning. Is it fun and easy? Maybe. But it's much more complicated than that, as we've been talking about with all of these. And I'd encourage you and kind of encourage myself with this video to just keep pressing for whatever it is you're learning. And that moment that you feel like, ugh, there's no way I can get past this, that is the signal. That's the go signal. Because once you start feeling that way, that means that you're right at the edge of a breakthrough. You know, I heard this great analogy once of, you know, people are driving down this really scary road and you're doing a race. And so you're trying to get to the end before everybody else. You pull up to the first corner. It's a bit tricky of a corner, but you manage it totally fine. Everybody else does too. You pull up to the next corner. It's a little bit more tricky. You know, it curves a bit faster. It's going downhill, so it looks like you might fall off the hill. And at that point, people start dropping out of the race. You're like, I'll keep trying. Then you get to the hairpin. This is the corner that just wrecks everyone. You see wreckage piled up at the corner from people who missed the turn. And at that point, you go, yeah, I think I'm done. I'm going to turn back. And what you don't realize is that's what everybody said. So all you have to do is keep going and you would win the race. Instead, you turn back and you don't win the race and you kind of settle. So that's what I'm going to leave kind of as a bit of motivation, is that really difficult thing that you're feeling. Everybody feels that at that point. So all you got to do is press through, make it to the other side. I feel like I'm going to break into a Doors song right now. So this has been Robert Monroe. Like this video if you like this. Again, super helpful. Comment about something that you're learning right now. That would be cool. And I'll catch you next time.